Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to our Public Safety Committee meeting on this July 29th. I'd like to call a roll of the members, please.
Sure, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Clay?
Present.
Beston? Camisso?
Here.
Demolowitz? Epicoro?
Here.
Ethier?
Here.
Touche? Lockhart?
Here.
And Ward.
Here.
7 present, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the minutes of the previous meeting? Motion made, motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. We only have 3 items on the agenda, so we should be finished very quickly. Current business, Counselor?
Current business, item 2 is authorizing an agreement with the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, Office of Interoperable and Emergency Communications, regarding the Public Safety Answering Points Operations Grant Program and amending the 2021 Sheriff's Office budget.
Sheriff?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. This is $236,000 for our PSAP operations grant. It allows and pays for our maintenancing and our CAD, RMS, all our licensing. It goes for Colony, Albany, sheriffs. I believe the state's involved in it as well. It's just an annual pittance that the state forwards to us.
Motion. Second.
Motion made and second. Are there any questions on this at all? If not, may I have a motion? Motion, second. Who's second?
I second.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Number 2 on the agenda. Number 3.
Number 3 is authorizing an agreement with SIV Ambulance for the purchase of a 2022 Ford F-450 chassis to be remounted into an existing ambulance for the Albany County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, Sheriff.
Mr. Chairman, a month ago, we moved money from our revenue recovery line, which is money we recoup from the insurance companies when we transport patients in our ALS program. We moved it over to our vehicle line, and now we're asking for permission to expend it on a re-chassis of one of our larger ambulances.
Motion?
Very quick question. Sheriff, is this an existing ambulance bid that we own?
We own the ambulance now, and this is a new chassis, so the box will stay. It's getting put on the new 450, or 550.
Bill, I have a question.
Yes.
Sheriff, the ambulance program itself, does that pay for itself or generate revenue?
Generates its buying an ambulance, yes. This year, I think we're on par to bring in roughly $400,000 in revenue recovery. It's been going up pretty good each year, maybe by 10-15%, sometimes more. I guess in a perfect healthy world, it doesn't get utilized at all, but when our EMTs go, it's X amount of dollars. If our paramedics go, it increases. And then, of course, there's a loaded mile. So if we're transporting from Rensselaerville, it could be, $1,500 trip. If we're transporting from Albany, it could be a $14 trip.
Is it a net, do we net money on that though? What's the expense?
So the program itself, Gary, is paid for by the towns that we contract with. So it would be
The
like,
ambulances.
Bern, Western,
The ambulances
Scotland.
we're talking about.
The ambulances are paid for out of the revenue recovery line.
So it's paid for by the money that they generate?
Yes, yes.
Do they generate enough to cover? Do we make a profit?
Yeah, we do. We keep that in agreement with our comptroller. We keep it in a special fund. And then we try to move money whenever we need to. We try to make sure that we always have enough to replace an ambulance. A hydraulic stretcher, they're expensive. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars. So it's money that we definitely need to hold on to. Sometimes we have to dip into the sheriff's budget to purchase supplies for it. But it all depends, like the vaccinations, for example. The towns didn't pay for any of that, so some of that overtime is gonna have to come out of my budget. So we'll have to move some over. Some of the supplies that we use for PPE and things like that, we had to buy. That obviously didn't come out of the revenue recovery.
I'm just more about the ambulances. Because at one time, Albany Fire Department wanted to run an ambulance. And the administration said that it wouldn't be profitable for the city to do that. Because we would get more people with no insurance. I guess is what they were saying. So I.
Medicaid pays too.
They do pay.
They do pay. Listen, I don't want you to think we're turning a big profit here. I mean, it's a very slim margin, but we do generate funds. You know, again, this year it's about 400,000. As the program grows and as volunteer organizations are, you know, unfortunately failing, and we absorb them, that's that many calls we're gonna do. So, you know, the average volunteer ambulance corps out that way is doing roughly 3,000-4,000 calls. So if we pick up those 3,000 or 4,000 calls at roughly $1,000 a call, you know, it does in fact generate funds. The program ultimately, we would like it to be self-sustaining, where we can start to lessen the burden on the towns and the cities and use that recovery money to start to expend more, but the program just isn't that big yet.
So at this point, if Albany was to do their own ambulances, it wouldn't be profitable.
I don't think it would be profitable because Albany would put on probably 2 firemen/paramedics, and with the costs of those 2
So
on
they
that
already have
ambulance.
those. Right now, they just use mobile for transportation.
Right, but if they were to buy the ambulances now, there's no way that Albany could make money off that program. I find it very hard. Yeah, I find it very
Thank
hard.
you. Sorry about the big picture.
Any other questions of the chair?
Make a motion.
Motion, second. Motion is made and second. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4.
Authorizing an intergovernmental agreement regarding the Burn Justice Assistance Grant Program funding.
So, Mr. Chairman, we're just a fiduciary agent on this. We give the money back to the city, the $71,000. We just process the paperwork for them. This is about our 7th year doing this. We make out in other areas, so the 71, in fairness, we give back to the city.
Motion move it.
Motion,
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a great night, thank you.
Motion carried.
Motion, second. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies